Happy Friday, everyone, and we are here for another newsletter. Newsletter, yes. I'll try and slow down. I got a few comments that I was going a little fast the other day on Wednesday's video, but everybody seemed to kind of like it, and I probably will do, within the next couple weeks, we'll do a full video on board prep, cutting, and that whole thing, spraying, doing the edges, all of that. I probably will do a full video on that within the next couple weeks. But today is going to be a little bit different. You guys know that I have a couple different ways that I finish my signs. One of them, I'll just put them out here. These are the two finishes that I generally use on my signs. This one, almost always now, I'll just use this on an indoor signs. And then this one I'll use for outdoor signs. But the problem with these is it can get pretty pricey. This is about $10 a can here in the US. I don't know what it is overseas. So what I'll do on an outdoor sign like this one here, what I would do is put 1 or 2 coats of a spray can, and then I would and you guys have seen me do this, I would brush coat here, you know, out of the same stuff out of the big can. But here's the deal, and I've had this for about a month, and I've been trying it, and a lot of guys on the Facebook group are using this thing, and this is called a little siphon gun. It's a critter gun, they say. I don't know why they call it a critter gun, but I guess he's been around for a long time. But I'll tell you what, man, I love it. And I'm going to explain all about it. Well, all that I know. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to finish this sign with it right now. So here's, I'll kind of go through the process. I use, I've got my air hose hooked up, and I've got about 50 pounds of pressure in my air hose. And this is the gun right here. This has got the Helmsman spar urethane, the big can that I just showed. It's got that in there right now. So we are going to we're going to set up, and we're going to spray this thing real quick. Let me put that aside. And I always spray the back of my signs first. I've got these little tack strip, carpet tack strip, little pieces of that down right now. Sometimes I'll keep them point up, but I don't like any chance of those points piercing the front of my signs when I'm doing the back. I can turn them over or not, but here's what I'm going to do. And normally speaking, by the way, I would be doing this all outside, but when we first started setting this up this morning, it was raining outside, and it still looks like the sun is kind of shining, but it's real drizzly out there. It looks like it could rain at any point. So we're doing this in the studio, but both doors are open. But normally, again, 99% of the time I would be doing this outside, not inside, for obvious reasons. So here's what we got. This is a siphon gun. There's a tube that goes down in here, and then the air comes here, so the tube or the finish never touches the actual gun. It just comes right out of here. This is just a regular mason jar. So let me, why are we not getting, wait a minute, maybe I don't have a good seal here. We should have, though. Maybe I didn't turn the air on yet. Okay, somehow the air got turned down in this thing. That's why it wasn't spraying. Now it's spraying just fine. So this thing just, I don't really adjust the pattern. If I had to name this little spray unit a different name, I would probably call it the sprayer for dummies, which is perfect for me. Because it's almost kind of like bulletproof, sure-proof. So I always do the back, then I turn it over, and I go all the way around the edges. Now I'll spray the surface. So the cool thing about this sprayer, well, there's a lot of cool things about it, but one of them is I'm not thinning this stuff at all. I'm using it full strength. And from my understanding, someone told me that this is actually designed for spraying spray adhesive. And so you can have almost any kind of viscosity, and it will pull it. Now this is adjustable as well, but I haven't touched it at all since I took it out of the box, and it seems to work just fine. So that's got one coat of the Helmsman, and look how much it used, like nothing. So, you know, if you look at the cost of, and I finished a sign not too long ago, and I put 3 coats on, and it looked like it had 20 coats out of the spray can. And it's just pennies as compared to dollars. It's got to be, gosh, 15-20% or times cheaper to use this. Now here's the thing that I like the best out of the whole deal. So I've just sprayed that stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it. Okay? I've got a jar, says thinner on it. Now hopefully I'll make this work. I'm going to unplug the air from it. Put that there. I'm just going to take this jar off. Oops. I should have took the lid off of that one first. I had it all figured out too. I'm going to take the lid off of this one. Put it on there. Hopefully I'll make this work. Done. Clean. That's it. That's all there is to it. So what I've done is I have a series of jars. I'll put this back on. I have a series of jars. Now the thing that I've always hated about spray guns is the cleanup process. It just, oh my gosh, it was just, you had to take it apart and do all these things. So I have a series of jars. This is my water-based sanding sealer for when I do my sanding sealer. Remember, I only do sanding sealer on pine. I don't do it on redwood or cedar, just on pine. There's my sanding sealer. There's a jar of water. That's how I clean the gun from the water-based stuff. This is oil-based, the Helmsman that I just showed. And then, of course, the jar of thinner. That's it. That's all I do. And they say that that if I just left this on there, which I'll probably put it back on when I get ready to put a second coat on this thing, and I'll just leave the jar on there. They say you can leave it in there for like up to a week. Now, again, I'm using about 50 pounds pressure. I probably would use a little bit less when I'm doing the sanding sealer because it's so thin, but this stuff's pretty thick. And it just is, it's kind of like foolproof. Like there's no way to mess it up. I love this little sprayer. And again, I've had this now for probably about 2 months. I've been wanting to make a video on it, but I had to kind of get my process down. Now these jars are just standard mason jars. I picked this, I got a box of these mason jars at Walmart. I don't know how much it cost me, but I can have as many jars as you want, you can have. So every time I get to try a new finish or something, I'll just buy it in the liquid and have a jar of it, put it on there, spray it, and then clean it with either water or thinner, just however I want to do it, whatever it takes to clean it. And I'm telling you what, and I know the guys, I'm kind of talking to the choir a lot, to the guys that are on the Facebook group, because I know there's several of you that are using this thing. But I'm telling you, it is cool. If you guys want to get into finishing, and the big thing is saving huge money on your finishing process and the simplicity of the cleaning. I'm telling you, this has changed the game for me from a finishing standpoint. Now, the one thing that they say that I've heard is this inside of here. When you take this off, you'll see it's got a little seal on it. Got a little seal, right? So they say that you will probably want to buy and have some of those extra, and that's good. That's fine. Here's the original one that this had, and it kind of got kind of goofy on me. And so here's what I did. I just cut my own. This is this stuff here. Oh, this is just mat board, or you could call it chipboard. And then I just cut my own little seal on it, and it works good. So I've got a bunch of gaskets that I've cut. Now I cut this with my laser, but it doesn't matter. You could cut it with a razor knife, X-Acto knife. Just use this as your pattern. You could cut your own, or you can order them. Whatever. For me, you know, I didn't want to order them and wait for them because my seal went bad. I just set up my laser and I cut my own out of this chipboard, and they work good. So I've got a bunch of them now. But again, if I didn't have the laser, I'd just cut this thing with an X-Acto knife or a razor knife of some kind. Oh, I got this on Amazon. It was like 40 bucks, I think, something like that. And it is an amazing thing. So they say that you can use paint, you can use adhesive. Gosh, I don't know whether I'll ever pick up a paintbrush again. This thing is so stinking cool and so easy to use. It literally is like foolproof. I just don't see a way to mess it up. So I absolutely 100% endorse this thing. I'd become a salesman for them, you know, if I didn't have something else to do, because this thing is just, it's awesome. I love it. There's nothing I don't like about it. So anyway, guys, I hope that is a value to you. It certainly is to me. It's changed my my whole outlook as far as putting a finish on a sign. It just it works great. And I'm forgetting something, but I can't think of what it is. Let's see. No, I guess that's about it. You know, just cut your own gaskets if you want to. If you want to save money doing that. I don't know. The gaskets probably aren't very expensive, but for me, it was a waiting thing. I didn't want to wait and order them. Anyway, this gun is pretty amazing, guys. I highly but that's all there is to it. You know, that's it right there. You can just take this off, well, or not. You can leave it on. You can take that off, but that's the same ring that fits on any of the jars. This ring comes with it, and just little mason jars. That's all there is to it. It is a cool little deal. I'll put my gasket back in there. Put it back on. It takes a little while to kind of get used to, you know, using it and putting it together and all that stuff. But it's a cool little gun. I highly recommend it. So that is the demo for today, guys. If you have any questions, you know, the guys on the Facebook group, I'm sure they've used this more than, and these guns, by the way, have been around. They say, some guys were telling me they've been around for 20 years. I've never seen them, never heard of them or anything, but the fact that the finish never actually touches the gun is just makes the cleanup absolutely incredibly fast. So that's it. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Let me know if you have any questions. And again, I'll be doing a longer video on my board preparation, cutting boards and all that. I'll be doing that maybe next week. So everybody have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions. Give us a thumbs up. Share the video if you would. And we will see you next time. Bye.